Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Just took a quick trade here, just a scalp on the Nasdaq. As it was moving down, I jumped on here and saw it. Just kind of jumped in, got quick $90. Moved my stop down a little too quickly here. Was thinking targeting this swing low down here, but didn't hold it. Kind of just jumped on, so was like not 100% certain in the setup there. All right, on the ES here, we got quite a bit of support in this 85 to 87 level. So until we break through this area here, potentially to take down this 80 level, I don't think I'll feel comfortable taking a short there. You can see I marked out the fair value gaps here that it's trading through currently. This is on the ES is a 15-minute one. It's in the same spot on the 3-minute as well. And this is the 3-minute fair value gap here on the Nasdaq on the NQ. And then we have another one down here that exists. This is also a 15-minute one that is kind of trading into here. It's another reason why, wasn't going to hold that short too crazy. Wasn't going to leave the stop too far open there. So that puts us up $407 on this account here, and we're still up the $258 on the other account from this morning. So let's see what happens. Thinking it might hold this fair value gap, but you don't really know. All right. This afternoon, we're going to try to just take some nice, easy trades. Kind of go from there. Thanks, Jaxo. Appreciate that. If you guys could hit the like button for me, I would appreciate it. Helps me out. Kind of bouncing up out of this fair value gap here, which was kind of what I was thinking originally. And then I just wasn't certain in it. Didn't trust it. So glad I kind of trailed my stop down on that one. Sometimes, sometimes it hurts you, sometimes it protects you. So when you're just in a momentum trade like that, to me, it just makes more sense to trail the stop. If I'm in a proper setup, then I got no problem kind of holding it for the targets there. ES is bouncing right off of this 90 level. Nasdaq ripping back up here too. Gonna wait for a proper setup here. See what happens. Really kind of looking for the ICT silver bullet here between 2 and 3 p.m. Same type of setup that we look for during the morning session at 10 a.m. and typically occurs between 2 and 3. Oh my goodness, I'm just now noticing I'm not even on the right chart here. What am I doing? Let's check this one. Yeah, we're on the right one for this one. All right, we can see we got a big fair value gap on the way down here. Right there. So let's go ahead and mark this one out. Typically, your fair value gap on the ICT silver bullet setup is going to form during the 2 to 3 p.m. hour. So you can still, use older fair value gaps, but typically it would use the ones that form between 2 and 3 p.m. Let's see here, looking at the NQ. Didn't quite get into this fair value gap on the ES. Gonna have a bearish fair value gap here on the 3-minute chart for the NQ. So just going to go ahead and mark these levels out as they happen, because otherwise I kind of forget that they're there. There's a very tiny gap here. There's a fair value gap down here, but this it's already kind of traded back through that. So since you do have the fair value gap above and below, it's kind of giving you, it could go either way here. So let's just wait and see what price action offers us, and we'll just react to that. See, we were trading in this range. This would have been a nice short, but of course I wasn't on. If you just had your trend line drawn kind of in that area for the break of the trend, could have taken a short here. For this move down, that really was your entry. Same thing on the NQ. When I had your trend line drawn, as soon as it broke the trend line, you had a shift in structure here, traded back up into it here, and then the full breakdown. So took out a high, made a new high, shift in structure, break to the downside, sell off. Of course, this is an ICT setup, but this didn't happen during the 2 p.m. hours, so still kind of waiting on that trade. Kind of moving back down on the ES here, traded right back up into that gap. Now it's kind of moving down. Got a fair value gap there on the 5-minute chart, as well as the 15 and as well as the 3. So quite a bit of information there for us. Possibly retesting the low here at 90. Almost makes me want to jump in. We said almost. If we're going to take the short, we should have been taking it at 95. But just getting on here, just marking out my levels. Don't want to do something, you know, in haste. I kind of jumped into this trade over here quickly as it is. So although I do kind of have the feeling that it's going to probably break those relatively equal lows, but is it worth it to jump in here 93 to 89? Probably not. You could kind of, you know, also draw your line there. And getting the breakdown here on both. Oh, wow. Pumped through there. It just blasted right through there. So what we may want to see here, this took out, is created kind of a new swing low. It's either going to create us a fair value gap, trade back up into it, and then break lower, or we kind of want to see it just move back up here and create a gap to the upside. I think we might take out the 80. Got a lot of liquidity resting here at this 85 level, and then the low of days down here at 80. So from the overnight. So let's wait and see what happens here. We've got a structure shift kind of here to the downside, continuing to the downside. So if this candle prints and leaves a gap here, then we'll mark that out and maybe use that as our entry as a short to take out this 80 level down here, potentially. Dollar kind of stair-stepping up here. NQ selling off as well. Just going to try to be patient on this entry here if we can get it. All right. Now we just need this next candle to print. Actually, on the 1 minute, we've already got the gap kind of formed on the 1 minute here. Let me check the NQ. Yeah, we have a gap to the downside on the NQ as well. So 42.90 might be the entry short. On the 1 minute chart, there's a gap above it as well at 92. And then on the 1 minute chart for the NQ, you're looking at possible short entry 23, 623. Kind of seeing how this reacts to this level here first. All right, we're going to try the short here on the Nasdaq. Maybe just targeting these lows here, but it may just bounce us right out of here. So a little bit of a riskier trade, so I probably will be moving the stop here pretty quickly to break even if we get there. May not get there. Might take us out here at this level. I know there's another fair value gap above it, but I'm not willing to risk that much on this trade, so I'm going to have to leave the stop here a little closer. And again, we're going to be moving it to break even as quickly as we can. So need it to go if it's going to go. All right, we're at break even now, so it's a free trade, can't lose. Just going to go ahead and move it down a little bit here, just to lock in a little bit of profit. $40 we got it at. There we go. See if we can get a little more here. A little bit more. All right, not the greatest trade in the world, but could have been worse, that's for sure. I'll take it. So I got stopped out there for another $125 here. It did move down and take out that liquidity, but I don't know. I was not feeling great about that trade, to be honest with you. Although everything about this market kind of tells me that we're kind of leaning towards this 80 area. So now we've got our gap on the ES as well. Didn't quite trade back up into it. The 1 minute chart it did. Got to kind of get through that 85 zone there. I'm going to take this, well, I don't know what else got going on here. Let's remove that. I'm going to go ahead and take this gap here, this fair value gap box, and we're going to use it over here. Change the color to red. What we'll be looking for here is for price to kind of trade back into this box. And then we could take a short. So if the ES trades back up into this gap, then we could take a short. Nasdaq never really did on the 3 minute chart here, but on the 1 minute chart that you guys can't see, we had a nice, you can see here, there's a fair value gap here. And so that's what I was targeting, traded back up into it, got short. Had my stop at the top of the first gap. So I was saying stop could have went here, but I don't want to risk that much on that trade. So put it to where I felt comfortable with it, where I was okay losing that. But on the 3 minute chart, we've not traded up into the gap yet. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this off here because this also has been traded through. We can shorten it up to here. Let's make this a bearish fair value gap now. There you have it. So potentially could take a short entry if this trades back up into this gap. Now I know we have a lot of resistance here at the 84, 85 level. So if you get short at the 91, it still gives you, still offers 5 handles to the 85 level. I would imagine it would take out this liquidity here. Going to have some liquidity rest in there, and then obviously some at the low a day. Oh. I accidentally... there we go. So you got that liquidity resting there. So let's kind of watch and see what happens. If it takes out the liquidity before coming back up into that gap, then I may not take that trade. May not take that entry. Hopefully the dog barking is not bothering you guys. There's not much I can do about it. He's in there and I'm in here, and he's a Dachshund, so he likes to bark. He loves to bark. All right. So currently we're up $529 on the Apex account today and $258 on the Top Step account. So not mad about it. That's a decent day in my book so far. See if we can't even these accounts out a little bit. Maybe get this Top Step account up there as well. Taking most of the winning trades on the Apex account, as you can see. I've been mostly trading the NQ on that. Bounced right off the 600 level here, which is that psych level. Usually you get a 10 or 12 point bounce out of that. You can see we're up 15, 16 points here at ES, trying to push back up too. So let's see. If we take a short here at the 91, stop has to be at the 94. So you're risking, what, $162 or something like that on this short entry if we take that. What's kind of scaring me about the short entry is the fact that we bounced in this area earlier. We failed to take this liquidity, which I'm okay with that, but we did bounce in this area earlier this morning, 10 a.m. So that's the only concern here. I could, of course, just put a resting order here at the fair value gap and just take it. But my only concern is the fact that we bounced there this morning. That's, that is a buy-in, Stuart. Now, if everyone's unaware, Stuart's referring to poker. It's a buy-in at the 1-3 game in Cherokee, Which one, though, Stuart? If it was you, if it's a buy-in for you, it's probably half this amount, right? 125. If it's a buy-in for me, it's probably these two amounts together. Because, I like to play a little deeper stack poker than Stuart does there. All right, let's see what kind of reaction we get to this fair value gap here to the downside. Trading into the gap now. Let's see if it just rejects it. We are below. We do have the 20 SMA pointing straight down, and we're below the VWAP. I mean, everything in me kind of indicates this is going to move lower. Well, let's just see how it reacts to this gap. So far, I like the reaction to the gap. I hesitated there, didn't press the sell button. So, so it looks like the risk would be just under 3 handles. It's about $137.50. Got my resting order there. Let's just see if we get tagged in. Might have should have took the first trade up into it. It may not come back to it. Eyeballing the 1 minute chart here. Let's see here. I mean, on the 1 minute chart, there is also an entry. See if this trades back up into the gap on the 1 minute chart. 42.90. All right, it's kind of trading back up into that original gap that I was thinking there. All right, we're going to go ahead and take the entry here. Risking 3 handles. $150 on the risk here. I don't like how NQ is already trading through that gap on its side. May take this off early. All right, we're back in the green, coming back towards the green here, so you know what's going to happen. This stop is going to go to stone cold even. $12 pretty quickly, yeah. I'm not liking how that looks. So it may just waterfall and come back down, but I didn't like how NQ kind of traded through this gap. The body of the candle did not print above it, and this one kind of rejected that 20 SMA, but man, this looks a little bit bullish to me. On the 1 minute chart, I'll kind of show you why. You can see we broke this swing high here, and that's what I didn't like. If we would have just came back up and double topped with it, then continued down, I'd have been okay with that. But once we broke that, and there's actually a volume imbalance right here that it kind of came down and repainted. So I don't know. I just didn't like the way that was looking. So when you're uncomfortable with it, the best thing to do is just take it off. So as soon as we got back to even there, we just did just that. So it may not even make it out of this gap, may just completely reject it and move back down. But let's just kind of, just for some interest here, let's just see where the 50% retracement would be on this level. So really, this gap right here is not even in a premium. You know, this gap is. So if we were going to get short, then we'd really want it to trade back up into this area. Maybe reject that 3,200 or 4,300 level again and then move back down. Kind of move back down out of this gap now. We will not take a re-entry on this trade. Not on the ES anyway. If it goes down here without us, then it just does. Looking on the 15-minute chart, it's looking like a reversal. Kind of looking reversally here. Do have that liquidity sitting down there at the 1590, 14,590 level. Kind of got this liquidity sitting down here, but relatively equal lows here. Didn't purge this liquidity, so you'd think it might come back and take it out. But I just got kind of spooked there. It's going down without me now. I'm fine with that. Not gonna chase it. There'll be more entries. Got that flush through right there. So this probably was valid, like I was thinking, but we don't trust it, you know. Unfortunately, this is day after day. This happens to me. I read it, I mark it out, I enter it even, and just don't hold it. So short from 91, went down to 86. That's my 5 handles. That's okay. I mean, you're not gonna trade perfect. You know, you can still have green days, even not trading perfectly. So just gotta look at the positives and try to do better the next day. The next time the opportunity presents itself, just try to do a little better at it here. I mean, really even could have taken the short up here. That probably, because at this point, this would have been, on the fibs, this would have been less than 50, or back up into a premium. So, you know, if you got short here from the 95s, you can see you're never in the red, not one time. So, if you get those first entries, a lot of times they work out, but you know, they work out a little better. You're got a little more room. Maybe I'm able to hold this trade if I get that first entry. Maybe not. Somebody speaking at the White House? Is that what I'm seeing here? Let me look. Yeah, I don't see anything. It says today. I guess I'm not to the evening yet. Let me look at the. Let's look here. No, I don't see anybody speaking today. Maybe someone is. I'm not sure. That was a little weird price action. How it just kind of blasted through there. Almost was like a news event or something, or maybe somebody talking, who knows. Nice little pushback up here. Bounced right off that 85. You know, I'm almost wanting to buy this this level. I don't know, though. We got these relatively equal lows here now. I'm not convinced it's going to leave those. It might right now, but it's eventually going to come back and take those, probably. But based on what we've seen today and where we know support is, I know there's a lot of support right there at 85 and 80. We lose 80, we probably trade back into the 60s. I don't know if I see that happening today, though, but it very well might. If we lose 80, I'll probably take a short for sure for a pullback into the 60s. Glad I didn't try to take that reversal there, because those relatively equal lows, like I said, it doesn't like to leave that liquidity there for long. We get breakdown of these 80, 85 here. I may just take a momentum entry here, even though I don't like those because my track record is not great with those. How's it going? The one and only. Thanks for the thumbs up. So break through 89. My stop, or 85. I guess stop would be up here at the 90. Basically, would be risking the all the profits on this account. I think I'm just going to wait. If we get the breakthrough 80, we don't hold 80, then I think it's an easy short. So, see what happens here at 80. I think I'm going to switch over to the micros here on this account and go ahead and take a short on the micros, just kind of with a little bit of a longer stop here. We're going to target down into the 60s here. Just reducing the risk here. This way we can still participate, but with reduced risk. Yeah, I'm thinking about moving the stop down, but there's really no reason. We're on the micros. Just leave it where it is. All right, stop's going to break even now. Can't lose here. Gonna go ahead and lock in some. If we get stopped out, I'm okay with that. So there we go. Took out a little bit of money out of the market there. A little, I don't know, $70. I'm happy with reducing the risk there. I think this is going to move down probably all the way to 63. But you know, sometimes you don't get the full trade there. There's no real reason to move my stop. I mean, like I said, I have pretty good conviction this is going to move down into the low 60s. But that's something I'm working on, trying to get better at. So that puts us up $330 on the Top Step account, $529 on the Apex. So that's, I don't know, $860 basically on the day so far. Can't complain about that. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid if I say so myself. Yeah, that was a pretty clear trade there, you know. And in order for the Bulls to kind of reclaim this, we need to pop back above 90, I feel like. But I feel like we're just going to sell off here the rest of the day. Probably eventually get down into the 60s. This is kind of what's been happening on Monday and Tuesday for the last month. You know, we can't hold a key level and then we just sell off, and then Thursday, Friday we rally and have a nice rally from there. So I think this pullback's going to be all the way down into the low 60s, maybe 62, 63 area, looks like. It might offer us another entry even if it trades back up. Excuse me, if it trades back up into that fair value gap. Not saying I'll take it, but it will probably offer an entry. Let's see here. Where's this gap? So we got one here. And we got one here on the NQ as well. So maybe trade back up into there for kind of the continue move down. I don't know if it's something I'm interested in. Again, I think that the entry for this was here. This is the best entry clearly. And on the NQ, you have a market structure shift here because this broke these lows. Traded back up into the gap here, so this would have been the entry on the NQ here. Even though we were above the VWAP, doesn't really matter. So, you know, if you got short there from the 671s, you're up 100 handles right now if you held through this. Didn't really take that long for it to make that 100-point move down either. Sorry, I keep coughing today. Yeah, 85-90 area is going to kind of be the line in the sand on maybe a trigger on the way back up here. If we can get back above that 85, then, you know, the Bulls have a chance there. But I have a feeling we're just going to sell right down to this 60, 62, 63 area. Nothing really stopping us from moving down there at this point. See if we get a bounce back up into one of these gaps. Kind of bouncing out of it here on both. NQ approaching the gap first here. All right, NQ's approaching the gap. Let's kind of see how it reacts. There is a smaller gap here on the ES as well. $15-minute chart, pretty big wicks on the 15-minute chart to the downside on both. Get a nice rejection here on the Nasdaq. I don't see a reason to go long here until you get maybe above 90, 85 or 90. Could possibly look at entering along there. Got to clear this fair value gap here before I would even consider a long on the Nasdaq 610 area. Really get above VWAP. All right. Let's see what we get. I'm going to watch reaction to these gaps here pretty strongly, pretty closely, and kind of see what type of reaction we get to them there. Trading into a gap on the 5-minute chart on the Nasdaq. Got a gap on the 1-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, the 3-minute chart. Gaps everywhere. All right, what we might do here is switch over here to the NQ. And I'm just going to take one and put my stop here where it needs to be. We're going to target the swing low. So I am entering this trade, but I'm just reducing my size, reducing my risk for a possible move down here. So looking for this short here on the Nasdaq, kind of trading back up into this fair value gap here. So we're just kind of entering short here on the micros, just reducing the risk and seeing if we can't get this move back down here. Might actually move my take profit down if we move down with some authority here. We may move it down a little lower. So let's see what happens. Got our stop here at the top of the fair value gap. Have a order block here and a fair value gap to the downside, so Kind of zoom in on it a little bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and move our stop to break even here. If we get stopped, that's okay. Just going to kind of trail this down just a little bit. Lock it in 7 handles there so far. And let's just leave this on here to go. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and move my stop to 72. So guaranteeing 4 handles. I don't even know how much that is. So we're going to guarantee 4 handles here and look for this move down to the low of day and let this ride. See if we can get this full move down. If we get stopped, that's perfectly fine. Should be able to get this pushed down. If it starts to push through 50 here pretty strong, then I may go ahead and add a second contract if we can push through 50 for that move down. Kind of holding up here a little longer than I'd like, but free trade at this point, so no need to do anything other than just wait. Need the ES to go ahead and make new lows here. Might get stopped. That's all right. And stopped out there for big money, $7.50. But that's okay. No, I just don't feel the need to risk, you know, trading the full mini contract when it may not go in my direction. So even though I'm pretty confident in this setup, at least this move down into the 40s is probably going to happen. Probably should have just left my stop at the break even there. But I'm okay with it. Not going to complain. You can see we got the fair value gap marked out there. Here we got the bearish fair value gap, traded back up into it. We took the entry short on the micros, and we were up about 20 points on it, and then I moved my stop to 6 points and it took me out. So continuing down here, nothing to do at this point. The ES also traded up into the lower fair value gap there and then started to sell off as well. Kind of bounced out of it a little bit. I needed the ES kind of waterfall, make new lows, maybe move into these low 60s, and would have brought the NQ with it most likely there. So I guess we're up $865 so far today on both accounts. Been pretty patient today. I've taken, you know, maybe a few too many trades, but overall I feel okay about the number of trades that I've made. Getting that move down here on the NQ, just like we kind of figured we would. Entry was up there at the 81s. Coming up on 20 handles in profit that potentially could have had there. I don't know. I just don't. I mean, why go long here? Why is anybody going long here? Does this look like a long to anybody? Doesn't look like a long to me. I mean, maybe if we get a major bounce out of this and get above 90. I just don't like guessing the bottom. I mean, I'd much rather ride the trend. Trend's down ever since 1 o'clock. Trend is down. So let's just trade the trend. I don't see any longs here. I mean, you can see all my trades. I did take a little long here. But no, that was a short. I'm sorry. So I don't think I have any longs today. Short this afternoon. Short, short, short. And then even on the micros, 2 shorts. No longs to be had at this point. Here comes the low a day here. Bouncing out of that area a little bit here. All right, bouncing out of that area. Got to get above 85 here, even 90 on the ES to even consider a long. Got to clear this fair value gap and really even clear this one. Get back above VWAP. It might just trade back up into this 85 level before making this next leg down. Trade back up into that fair value gap now on the NQ. I don't know. I feel like we're going to see that 42.63 area today. I almost feel like we're trading back up into this just for a rejection, maybe even up to here. It's kind of what I'm thinking on this last leg down here. This is trading into the premium. All right, well, trading back up into this gap here, just trying to see how price kind of reacts to it. You see NQ's already kind of pushing almost through the gap. Sometimes NQ likes to paint outside the lines there. All right, looks like it's respecting those gaps so far. But I still don't know if that's enough for me to take an entry here. Just kind of, it bounced out of this area pretty strong. All right, kind of approaching 3 o'clock here, about a minute and a half. Let's see what happens in the power hour here. Kind of favoring the shorts here. Not really. Still not got a long bias at this point. Still kind of favoring the shorts, but Nasdaq gets above that 620 level. Could change my mind there. ES really needs to get above that 90 level. Then the next battle will be up there above 95. It's certainly trying. It's making a go at it. It's making a run. See if it can keep it going. Of course, if you get to 620, you're gonna break through the VWAP as well here. I'm just looking over here at the 15-minute chart. If you can make a high over the previous 15-minute candle here. All right, here we go, coming into 3 o'clock. Should kind of get an idea what direction we're going to be going here at the end of the day. The next 10 to 15 minutes should give us all the info we need on that. Looks like we're trying to reject this gap here with the top of the range, top of the gap on the NQ there. Right there in the middle of the gap on the ES. Got this order block here on the NQ. Might trade back up into the 50% range in that before it kind of moves down. Possibly. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you get notified when I go live. Greatly appreciate it. All right, testing that 87 level there at the top of that fair value gap, rejecting it so far. It might come back up for it there. Trading back into the fair value gap there on the 1 minute chart. On the ES here, like I said, I still kind of favor the short in this scenario. I did not take the entry there. So I had it taken the short at 84. We'd be up 2 or 3 points right now. But we didn't take it. Another trade that we saw nicely and just didn't take it. All right, well, let's take a look here and see what we got. I mean, it's too late to enter this trade now. Entries up here, 84. Don't want to be entering 4 or 5 handles below. We are just now trading out of the fair value gap on the NQ, so technically I could enter short here because this is where my entry would be anyway. Let's see. Maybe we switch over to the micros here. Same type of concept as what we had earlier. And we'll go ahead and move our stop to break even here. So can't lose. Can't lose on it. See if we can't get this pushed down here. I'm going to go ahead and lock in 10 handles there. Might get stopped. You know what? Let's not. There's no reason. Let's just move our stop back to break even here. There's no reason to... let's try to get this pushed down if we can. Into this 40 area. No reason for me to move this down. We're on the micros. Let's just be patient with it. Get as much out of it as we can and move on. Got it at 2 handles just to cover the commissions. Might stop us out here. Pretty sure we're going to get this pushed down here. Need ES to just break through that 73 level and kind of take us with it. Just going to kind of watch it. If we the ES breaks through 73 and we don't get stopped out here, then I may move our target down a little bit. Needs to break through strong here, though. We break this low right here strong. I'm going to go ahead and move my target down to the 30. Just kind of creating another gap here, so it might move back up and stop me out before it goes, but that's fine if it does. All right, stopped out there, $4. It's okay. We could have took 30 something dollars on that trade, but that's all right. Like, again, switched over to the micros, just kind of reduce risk here. Still taking trades when I see them. Just don't, just want to reduce my risk and kind of go from there. ES is bouncing there a little bit too. Did kind of create a fair value gap, but we're triple bottoming here now, so I don't see how we don't come and take these relatively equal lows out here. Same thing on the NAS. So kind of working on another fair value gap here to the downside, which is, that's what you like to see. But I didn't want to ride. Could have took the VWAP rejection trade here, but I don't want to hold this trade all the way up there. And I still should have been short from the 83. I got short at the 74, so about 9 handles lower than I should have been. So right now we're up $868 on the day. Got about 42 minutes left before 4 o'clock here. Let's just see what we get. Kind of feel like we're going to get that pullback into the 60s on the ES. May not, but it's kind of what it seems like it wants to do. Could potentially take another short here at 80. That could potentially be another entry. All right, it's going to go ahead and take those lows now. I'd be shocked if this doesn't continue lower. Has to. Of course, you got that macro that kind of turns on at 3:15 here and kind of gives you your end of day. Kind of gives you your end of day direction most of the time. Triple bottom here on NQ and on ES. Can't get through here on this move, then we may bounce here and move up, but see what happens. This is the third 15-minute candle that we made an attempt to make a new low here. Kind of holding up here at the 42.73 on the ES and on the NAS. I think we break this level and we're going to see this 12 level, 1500 level, 14,500 level probably pretty quickly. All right, kind of bouncing up here out of this area. This could be kind of reversally here. This not making the new lows. Might trade back up into this 80 level, 81. But I don't really... Not liking this triple bottom area here. I don't see how it leaves that, but it very well might. That, you know, it could just bounce right out of there and continue higher. Yeah, I think we have an Apple event today, if I'm not mistaken. Check out these wicks on the 15-minute chart. It's kind of comical. Bodies of the camera, the candles. Look at all these wicks. So kind of bouncing out of this here. I mean, to me, you're going to have to get above this 88.90 level before even considering being bullish. Coming up on the 315. 315 hour, well, I guess not an hour time right now. Approaching the 20 SMA. This is looking quite powerful. This is getting a nice move out of this bottom here. Kind of rejecting the 20 SMA there. See if it can get through there. Nasdaq's also approaching the 20 SMA. Also approaching that bearish fair value gap there. If it holds this gap, then I think this is going to move back down. That 90 area on the ES is going to be key here. We break that 90 area, we may see 43.05, 43.15 by the end of the day. But I kind of think if this 87, 88 area holds us down, we may see the 42.63s. See, that's what some people do. They make a case for both directions, and then whichever way it goes, they say they're right. I told you on the live stream. I told you this would happen. We don't do that. All right, kind of rejecting the fair value gap there. It's kind of been ranging there for a while. Trading back up into the gap here. If it breaks through the 20 SMA, we may take a retest of the VWAP here. Just kind of being patient, seeing what this offers us. Could take this entry again on the micros. Trying to move up into this gap here on the NQ. Going to need to reject it. Just kind of watching this here. Holding the 20 SMA here so far. I think we're probably going to get this move. It's probably going to turn back down here. All right, well, let's see what happens here. Kind of approaching the fair value gap again on the ES as well. Kind of feels like it might turn back down here. Kind of a scary spot, though, because it could really go either way. See what happens here. Dogs barking. All right, let's see how this reacts. All right, now it's starting to push up through there. I don't like that. I'm not sure I like that. Been kind of ranging here the last, I don't know, hour or so. Just trading in this short range. Didn't have a spike out of it, but for the most part, just kind of been trading in this short range. Just trying to push out of there right now. All right, pushing back up to the gap here on the ES. I don't think this is going to be a trade I'm going to take because the time of day, this very well could just be a reversal considering it left this triple bottom here. Would like one of these, would like this one to at least broke this low. Cleared out that liquidity there. But it didn't happen, so. Yeah, I was showing you guys the 15-minute candles. Let me check out the 15-minute candles here. These are the last 4 15-minute candles. This is kind of indicative of, a failure to break down. When it just wicks down there, comes back up, wicks down there, comes back up. Almost looks like a reversal type candle. So that's why, my bias was kind of short there, but you can change your bias with futures, down to the second. I could be bullish 1 minute, turn bearish the next, and vice versa. So you can take it in both directions there. Let's see what the dollar's doing here. Dollar's trying to stair step down as well. Trying to get this push up here on the ES and the Nasdaq, pushing through here. Just got to get through that fair value gap. ES is kind of rejecting the bottom of that fair value gap there. I don't see how it holds if the NQ breaks above VWAP here. I don't see how the ES holds. Dollar is moving down, which would lead you to believe that everything's going to kind of be going up here. Get a break of the VWAP, we may consider taking a trade on the micros just to reduce our risk. All right, trying this breakout again. It failed earlier here. Had kind of a failed breakout here, failed breakout here. You can see there's, to the downside, there's not a lot of resistance, right? We do have some strong, some support here at 73, but got kind of some issues to the upside that we have to kind of get through. Got to work through these 3 fair value gaps to move higher. Same thing here on NQ. So ES breaks the VWAP, then you're in the middle of this gap. So even if you get long here, you got to think about this gap. So get a little better of a kind of a setup here on the NQ, because if you break above VWAP strong, you'll clear this small gap pretty fast, and then you got quite a bit of range before you get to the next one. So we'll see if anything happens that allows us to take another entry, or if we'll just be done for the day. And again, if you're new to my stream, down here in the left corner, left bottom, this is my Top Step account. So that's the profit total P&L for today for Top Step, and then the one here on the right is the Apex account. So that's the total P&L for the Apex account there. All right, kind of rejecting the fair value gap there. It's not really shocking, but, I thought with this nice move up, we may continue. Let's go ahead and switch over to the micros here. Let's see. If we break through that 80 level, maybe we'll take a micro short again. Kind of be the same entry that we took earlier. Twice. Very similar setup that we traded earlier. Again, putting in a lower high here. Kind of keeping this trend line down there. You can literally just draw a trend line, between these three lows. Once it breaks out of it, you could take a long, but it's bouncing out of it here, so we're not going to enter right now. Still bouncing right here. Dollar now is just trying to move down a little bit here. Stair stepping down a bit. Trend on the dollar is definitely down. Just kind of watching price action here, paying attention. We're coming up on 330. So typically, if I'm not in a trade by 345, I don't like that last 15 minutes of the day unless I'm just trying to, get some losses back or something to that effect, because it's just a little more risky. You have an algorithm that turns on at 345, well, 350 really, 355, where you get a bit of crazy action at the end of the day and can really easily stop you out. So we don't find another trade here in about the next 15 minutes, then we may be done for the day. But we're going to do our best to find something here. See if we can find another target here in the next 15 minutes to trade. All right. Well, let's see what we can do here. Still trading up into this range in this fair value gap. Still respecting it, not moving out of it. But as of right now, not really something I'm interested in entering. Like I said, you could make an argument for, this break of structure here on the lower time frame. You did break that swing high on the 1 minute chart. Could make an argument for it to trade back into this fair value gap here before kind of moving higher. So your argument can go both ways for this, and when that's the case, typically try to show caution, show a little patience there. So let's go ahead and just see if we can't find an entry or not here in the next few minutes here. Dollar still just trying to stair step down. It's not really going anywhere, just kind of stagnant at the moment. If you're new to my stream, once again, I'll kind of repeat myself here. We got Top Step account here on the left. We're up $330 in that today. Apex account here on the right. We're up $538 on it. Total equity on the Top Step account right now is going to be $1,216. So we're at $51,216. So that means we need $1,800 more dollars on that Step 2 account to get funded. And total equity on the Apex account is going to be $51,570. So we're at about $1,430 to get funded on that account. So do have a affiliate link there with Apex Trader, Apex Funded Trader. If you click on the link here, and you can check down in my description. Actually, I don't even know if I put it in the description. But anyways, you see you got the coupon code up there in the banner if you're interested. How's it going, Bad Juju and Bartholomew Smurfington? Crypto Dylan, welcome to the stream. I just been trading all day. Yeah, I stream every day from around 9:15 to 11 a.m. and then from 2 p.m. until close. So stream every day. I'm doing the Top Step 50K challenge as well as the Apex 50K challenge as well. Thanks, Jason, for answering those questions. I appreciate it. So as you can see here, you new guys, I got the P&L on the screen right there. I'm trading mostly the Nasdaq on my Apex account and then the ES on my Top Step account. So I'm trying to make the gains every day, crypto. That's all you can do. Trade of 8 5-minute charts on the ES and QUC was a 3-minute. I got the 3-minute charts up. I like to take my entries and exits off of the 3-minute chart. That's typically what I use. I have 4 monitors here, so I've got probably 3, 6, 9. I have 11 charts pulled up in the dollar. So I do use Trade of 8 for my trading, but I also have Trading View. I like to use Trading View some for the dollar and a few other charts. I have some different indicators on there. I don't necessarily use them all the time, but they're just there. The red line here is going to be the 20 SMA. That's what I use on my charts. And then the blue line is going to be your VWAP. Those are typically the indicators that I keep on my charts. The red boxes are going to be bearish fair value gaps, and the green ones are just going to be bullish fair value gaps. Yeah, I like Nutty's stream. I've watched him for a bit. He's much more patient than I am. I don't know that I can sit there all day and not take a trade, but patience sometimes is very good. And in trading, it's something you definitely have to have. So, kind of show you guys what I've done today here on the Apex account. So I've taken 14 trades. 10 winners, 1 loser. The loser was actually last night. At open last night, I took a trade. So started the day with a bit of drawdown, but got it back. So 538 there. And then on the ES, or on the Top Step account, we've taken 11 trades, 7 winners, 3 losers, and $330 in profit there. Unfortunately, I'm not, I don't take the trades at the same time always. I try to, but yeah, I agree. Thong. I like that name. The kind of looks like it's going to move down to me too. I've been thinking that we're going to see the 42.63 level today by close on the ES, and we just haven't gotten there. But I kind of feel like the line in the sand on the ES is this 90 area, just below VWAP. Kind of really get above there in order to get bullish. So was actually looking at taking a short here on NQ if we broke out of this fair value gap. If we kind of broke 80, I was thinking of taking a short just with a micro just to kind of protect the profits this afternoon. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to follow along every day. Where's everybody from here? The ES is kind of not quite as strong as the NAS here. NAS is already traded up into that gap. It's just kind of hanging out into it. We may not get a move here until that algorithm kicks in there at 350. So, but we'll be patient here and see what happens. Crypto Dylan, you're from Arizona. Nice. I'm in Georgia. Dollar tried to make a little move up there. Now it's kind of retracing it. What do you guys think? We're going to get a pump or are we going to get a dump here at the end of the day? I'm still bearish until we can make it above these VWAPs, or break out of this fair value gap here. Georgia, Florida line. All right. Hey, Derek. How's it going? You're from New York. Never been there. It's definitely somewhere I'd like to go. Bartholomew, you're from Colorado. Never been there either. Been to Florida. Most places I go are typically like West Coast area. Been to Vegas quite a few times. Bobby, you live close to me, you think so? Possibly. I'm in the Athens, Georgia area, so. It's a definite possibility. All right, we're trying to move up here on the ES, approaching this fair value gap. Let's see if it kind of pierces into it this time. Don't really usually have to move them over that much, but move kind of slow this afternoon. North Georgia, you're down at the Florida line. Traveling to Miami. Nice. Yeah, I'm going to be taking a trip here in a few weeks too. We're going, it's going to be a boys trip. Me and the kids. We're going to go to Nashville, Kentucky, Chicago. Oh, I left out Indy, Chicago, Cleveland. Going to be attending some baseball games on the trip. What are you going to Miami for, Derek? Or you got some work down there? Or you just going for vacation? Oh, Bad Juju. You're from the UK? Nice. Appreciate the subscription there. I've never been to the UK. Bad Juju, do you follow Cammy Capital? I think he's from New Zealand. Hey, if you're going for work, Derek, that's, it's a nice trip to be taken for work. We went down to the Florida Keys last year. Really enjoyed it. Although we found out pretty quick it's not a place for kids necessarily. It's more for adults. All right, kind of moving up into this fair value gap here. Let's see how price reacts to it. I'm kind of thinking we might get a push here at the end of the day. Now it's kind of looking that way. It just gets through this gap here. Yeah, I like Nutty. He's a really nice guy. He's definitely grown his channel quickly. So I've been following him since the beginning there. I just obviously I used a different screen name. It's kind of amazing. He has the 20 Apex funded accounts. I mean, that's whew. I can see how you can do it. I don't think you need 20, but to have 20 is fine. I'm okay with just having 2 or 3. Yeah, I signed up for Apex because of the discount. I was using Top Step, and I didn't really know a whole lot about Apex, and then I started watching Nutty, and was like, hey, it doesn't seem that bad. A lot of people, Patrick Wieland and a few other people kind of talk down about Apex, but once you kind of look into the rules and the trailing drawdown and all that, it's not really that bad. I'm someone that doesn't really, I don't really let my trades run without moving my stop up, so I don't have a whole lot of slippage there. What are you saying there, Thong? I don't know what that means. You just the fun to do it? T-T? T-T? I don't know what that means. Take profit trader, maybe? I don't know. You just got funded on one of those? Everybody talking about these Vision Pro goggles now. All right, kind of rejecting this fair value gap here on the ES. Still kind of above this 20 SMA though. Possible move back down here to 73. Oh, you just need the funds. I got you. Well, with $40, I mean, it's $41 or something like that on Apex. I mean, it's not bad. You got 2 funded but lost it. Yeah, that sucks. They say once you get the accounts funded, it kind of becomes a different kind of a game there that you're, mentally just gotta stick to the same plan. So I still kind of have a fear of losing myself, so I'll enter trades and be in the right direction, but I'll move my stop too quickly. And that's something I'm kind of fighting, but the only way to get better at it is just recognize what you're doing and don't do it. So I really enjoy trading the NQ a little better, a little more than I do the ES, and I don't really know why, but I really like the NQ a little better there. All right, trying to get a little pullback here. If the NQ kind of breaks through this 80 level, we may look at taking a short on the NQ. Don't really like how close we are to the 350 algorithm, but we may be able to get in and get out before the algorithm hits there. Or at least have our stop at break even. That way if it does hit, we can not lose on the trade. Any of you in here currently trading? See that Thong lost to 250K accounts, but are you any of you guys currently trading right now? If you are, how you doing? Having a nice green day or a red day? What you got? Bouncing off that 20 SMA there, moving back up. Approaching this 350 algorithm. I guess we'll see what happens there. Working on a 25K account. Nice. 64 accounts. Holy smokes. Crypto Dylan. Nice. What do? You must have multiple prop firms, or what do you got going on there? How do you have 64? Rookie numbers? Yeah, I like that too, Bobby. That's the thing about the NQ. I'm not super patient, so you can get a 20 or 30 point runner in, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds sometimes. It can make a quick little move, and you can make your $300-400 in just a few seconds. Whereas with the ES, you're going to have to hold it to get those same kind of moves. All right, here comes the 350 algorithm here. See what happens. Well, Thong, some of the trades I enter based on the ICT concepts where, we trade into a fair value gap. Really depends on the time of day, what type of setup I'm looking for. So there's the algorithm kicking in. So as you can see here on these couple of entries short, this one traded up into this gap, I entered short. This one traded up into this gap, and I entered short. My entries on these, I entered a little late. So this one I just took off for break even. I didn't like how it was reacting. And then earlier in the day, just kind of traded momentum on this move up. And at the open, traded momentum on this move up. Or that actually wasn't the open. That was just a little breakout trade. That was the momentum at open there. So for the most part, I take momentum trades. Sometimes momentum trades, breakout trades, breakdown, breakout. And then usually between 10 and 11, I look for the ICT silver bullet. And between 2 and 3, same concept. Didn't trade as well today on the ES. Took some trades on there, some losers. Small winner there. This one, fair value gap here. Traded back into it, got long. Just took a 2-handle winner. Like I said, I'm working on holding the trades are a little longer here. And not moving my stop so quickly. So, took a loss there. Kind of traded back up into this gap, got short. These trades this morning I wasn't really very happy with. This one was just trying to trade the breakdown. Lost 250 on it. And then we reversed. I got long for this little move up. So definitely some improvement to be made. All right, kind of breaking down here on the ES. Going to retest that 20 SMA. Let's see, 20 Apex accounts for my wife, 20 for me, and 20 under a business account. Oh man, that's a great idea, Crypto Dylan. I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. Bartholomew, you know all of this is true. Perfect. That's not a bad idea. Something to consider for sure. So, Crypto Dylan, what kind of profit target do you have every day? Are you kind of using the same strategy as Nutty, just trading the micros, looking for 30, 40 bucks, and then multiplying that by 60? Or are you are you trading the minis and just looking for a little larger profit every day? It's kind of chopping around here even after that 350 algorithm. Nothing really going on, staying in this range, hanging out in this fair value gap. Really going to need a breakdown or a breakout to have any opportunity here before the end of the day. Looks like the NQ is trying to push up here. Trade the minis on the 10 second, usually around 150K a day. Wow. That's nice. Maybe one day I can get to that level. 150K a day. 10 second though, that's a pretty quick chart. Are you you on the NQ there? Or just the ES? Oh, I got you. Used to trade crypto. Getting a little pullback right here before this 355 algorithm kicks in. Testing that SMA. Let's see here. Only the nasty Nas. Yeah, I'm betting if he's making 150K a day there, Bobby, he's probably not interested in streaming. There's it's not a lucrative deal. So it's a lot of work for very little pay. I'm not making any pay yet. So well, we just can't seem to break this. Bartholomew, are you doing something similar to Crypto Dylan there? You got a bunch of funded accounts. Trading them also? Where you guys where y'all trading at? I bet. I don't doubt it, Crypto Dylan. All right, well, we're approaching the last couple of minutes of the day here. Not seeing anything so far that I like. The ES did trade out of the range there, but hasn't really broken down like I'd like it to. Okay, you guys trade together? Nice. Yeah, I have a cousin who just started trading. We try to help each other. It's not always help though. Sometimes we don't listen to one another, so or we have different thoughts. I'm thinking long, he's thinking short, that kind of deal. So y'all trade in a Discord room on chat with a few other traders? Nice. Yeah, I'm not really in any Discords yet. I haven't. I've been in a couple, but I didn't find it too helpful. Too many people in there talking. All right, here at the last minute, let's see what we get. Really kind of been an uneventful afternoon here. Missed a short over here, I can tell you that. Was actually in it short, but didn't trust it, got out. It moved all the way down. Well, I wish I had a little more for you guys to see here in the last 20, 30 minutes, but unfortunately nothing really presented itself. Curious to see if we get any kind of moves here at 4 o'clock. Nothing really to speak of. Well, all right, guys, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, like the stream and hit the subscribe button if you want to follow along. Again, I will be live again tomorrow at 9:20 a.m. And we will see you guys then. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.